Hello everyone, welcome back. Yes, we are back in Car Mechanic Simulator 2014. I haven't done a video in a little while. I haven't done many videos at all in a little while other than F1 and the few things that we do as a group. But I'm back, I'm doing more videos, it's alright. Don't get too mad. It should be good, I promise. That being said, I was thinking about what to do with this series, and I was afraid that it would just get a little too, I'm still using my new mic, by the way. I'm not sure what video is going to come out first, but I'm using it in new videos and testing it out, seeing how it works. See if it's better than the one I was using before. So I may sound a little different. Don't worry. It's supposed to be that way. Like I said, I was worried that this game might get a little too repetitive with the working on the cars. I assume in a game like this, there's only so many things you can do, so I wasn't sure how it was going to be, but, you know, and I was worried about dropping it, but I love the game. It's super fun. It's fun to play. It's really laggy for some reason. Okay, it's back now. Anyway, so I was trying to think about what to do with it, and I think I'm just going to use it as, like, my job is a mechanic, automotive technician. I do that every day, 5, sometimes 6 days a week, 10 hours a day. So it's weird to come home and play it, but I feel I might just use this as like a forum for just talking about car-related things or work-related things. I'll try not to get too boring with it, but just sort of talk. I don't have a lot of series where I can just talk about things, and I think that's one of the things that has kept me from making a lot of videos, is that when you start making them, it's really hard to just jump in and be naturally talkative and things like that. It's still really awkward, and you can see in my videos sometimes where it's just a little hard to say things. So I want a video where I can just sit and talk, even if no one's listening. It's just me talking, and sometimes that might just help me. You know, pretty much I just have my wife and, you know, some friends and things to talk to normally, but I can't really talk about work things because unless you're in that world, like my wife comes home and talks about culinary things, and she's a culinary student and working at the same time. You know, she comes home and talks about cooking things, and you know, I listen, just like she listens when I come home and talk about work, but I know that the same blank expression I get, she probably has when I talk about work things. So, I'll try not to bring it home and bore her too much with those things. So I might just use this for that. While we're working on it, I might just talk about some new things. So, let's just go ahead and start getting in and start working, and we'll talk along the way. I am ready, super ready to play. I'll let you know by this sound. Aha! That was a can opening. That's my recording juice, as I call it. Typically it's Red Bull. Oh, and it's so good. Okay, I haven't played in a while. Don't remember any of the buttons. Luckily, they're all at the bottom of the screen, so that works out. Okay, let's show the RO here, see what we're going. The faster I drive, the louder this horrible noise gets. I also notice that the dashboard lights are getting dimmer. See, this is where I would want to talk to the customer or the service advisor at this point, because it says, I also noticed that the dashboard lights are getting dimmer. Is that a separate concern, or is that related to the noise? I feel this is almost cheaty, playing this game sometimes, because I don't even need to test drive it. It's probably going to want you to test drive it, but, or it may not want you to, but let's just go down here. Man, it's so laggy for some reason. What's going on? I don't think I have anything else going on. Alright, so shoot, wrong button. Okay, I want to examine parts condition. It won't let me view the condition of the alternator. Not sure why. Okay, the belt's at 82%. I wonder why. Well, let's do this. Let's go to disassembly mode. Let's remove the belt. Now can I look at the condition? I still can't. What's going on? And it's so... It's just the frame rate's not working with me. Ugh, I don't know. Okay. What's their concern again? Oh, this frame rate. It's gotta go. Why is it so laggy? Ugh. The faster I drive, the louder this horrible noise gets. I'll also notice that the dashboard lights are getting dimmer. When your dashboard lights get dim, it's because you're losing battery power. The battery works just like a AA or a AAA or any 9-volt battery, something you're used to putting in your remotes or something like that. It has a constant 12 volts. Well, it's not constant, but it has around 12 volts at rest. The more you use it, like running your headlights or turning the radio on, it starts to drain that. So to keep the power in the battery, to be able to power all those things while you're driving, they install the alternator, which is basically, it's some copper coil winding. It's just like copper wires that have been wrapped together and twisted together, and it makes a circle around a spinning magnet. A magnet spinning around or inside a coil of wire creates electricity and current. So what they do is they put the belt, attach it to the crankshaft down here, and it powers everything. And that belt also runs the alternator, and it spins the shaft, which spins the magnet inside, which creates the current. It's usually 13.5 to 14.5 volts. That is directly linked to the battery, and that will send power to the battery, so your battery's always running about 14 volts while you're driving. Now, if you had a concern to where your headlights were getting dim, something like that, it could be a failed alternator, which is not charging the system properly. If you also have to where the car will die frequently, that could also be an alternator that's not working correctly and charging the battery. There's another concern that can be with the alternator. This creates what's called an alternating current. It's not a direct one-way current. How alternating current, instead of just going one direction, it goes one direction and then it'll come back the direction and then go forward. It alternates forwards and backwards. I don't know an awful lot about alternating current. It's used in households. The transformers and power lines use alternating current. I think it's more powerful. I'm not exactly sure the details of it, but at some point it converts to direct in your house because you have to have a direct set amount of current going to whatever you're doing, or it's going to shut off and come back on and off and on and off. So what you can see is there's a diode which only lets electricity through in one direction, and that, oh my gosh, the lag in this thing. I don't know why it's running so poorly. Maybe I'll close it and try something else in a minute. But anyway, it's so bad. There's a diode that only lets electricity through in one direction, and that creates a direct current to the vehicle so that it's not alternating back and forth, and you can completely power everything constantly. Now, if that diode fails, it will allow alternating current through, and this is typically seen in, if you've ever been in front of a car at night where their headlights are flickering, where it goes bright and dim really fast, that's usually a sign of a failed diode. Sometimes you can notice it in brake lights, or any lights, anything. If your interior lights, if your dashboard lights are flickering, it's typically you want to look into your alternator. So I was Alright, so give me 1 second and I'll be right back, because this is just obnoxiously bad. I'll be right back. Okay, everyone, sorry about that. That took you about 2 seconds to fix, and it took me about 20 minutes. For some reason I had to restart the computer, do all kinds of stuff. Oh well, don't worry about it. Alternator problems is the suspected cause of the customer concern. That's where we're at right now. Couldn't find... It wouldn't let me inspect the alternator for some reason. So, we're just going to remove it. And then see what the condition is. Now, I can go into my inventory. And that alternator is at 11%. But, the good thing is, we should be able to repair the alternator. $221. Okay, sorry about that. Had a small interruption there. Okay, show the inventory. Okay, the alternator we took out, we repaired. Now it's 100%. We were paid $550, and we repaired that for $220. So, not a bad day in my opinion. So let's install this thing right here. We have to go to assembly mode. Yeah, I feel almost cheaty in this, just because I know what the typical problems would be, so where most people would have to do a little more diagnostic work, it's not as much for me. Get out of that. There we go. Close the hood. Oh, close the hood. Close the hood. There you go. And repaired. Yes, so on to the next RO. Yes, so I made a small change at work. Big change, really. I used to work in our Volkswagen department. Okay, hold on. I can barely afford a car, but I've managed to buy myself one. It doesn't start, though. Help me, please. I only have $300 left, and I need it working before I can show it to my parents. Yeah, you probably should have gotten with your parents about buying a car in the first place. I love how they say, like, we had one before where, well, this car is a junker, it's a piece of junk, you know, it's a crappy car, I can't do anything with it, blah, 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 and it's just like this brand new looking car, and this one's like, I can barely afford a car, but, you know, here it is, it looks like it just rode off a showroom floor for 30 grand. But, so, yes, as I was saying, I made a small switch from Volkswagen to Mini. I now work in our Mini department. I'm a mechanic there. They said their car won't start. It's usually going to be a battery or starter issue. So what we'll do is examine conditions. 39% on the battery. I really hate that you can't... Yeah, okay, we'll do that. My furious clicking had to remove it. Because for some reason, that's how you have to examine. Let's get out of this. Starter's 50%. They only have $300. So, we might be doing some stuff for... Alright, that'd be $50 to fix. We could do that. No biggie there. And they need a battery. So, let's see how much a battery is going to cost them. $350. I wonder if we can repair the battery. Not that that's ever a legitimate thing, being able to repair a battery. Let's just remove it. See what happens. Let's get out of here. Yep, so I now am a Mini technician. No repairable parts, so we can't do anything about it. Okay, so for $300 they want... Alright. Well, nothing we can do then. We took the job, we must deliver. Take money out of my own pocket. Our children will go starving tonight. Also, you can have your battery to show your parents. That's fine. You know, no biggie. Alright, let's put this bad boy back in. Assembly mode. Put a good battery in. And we need to swivel around in the slowest way possible. starter back in. There we go. Alright. Looking good. Close this hood and get these people out of here. Cheapskates, get out of my shop. So it's not repaired. Alright. Let's do this. Alright, so everything underneath looks bad. Can we view? Can we examine? Of course we can. I can't see why we can't examine stuff. Do this. Now can we examine this? Oh. I didn't want to remove them, but... Whoa, did that say the ignition wires were at 7%? Wow. Yeah, I think I understand what your problem is. Now they want plug wires too. Good lord. You're getting some used plug wires. Believe it or not, you can't find used spark plug wires. Not that you would ever want to give away used plug wires. 150 bucks. We're now at 550 bucks for this. Let's get rid of this. Reinstallation mode. I almost feel as if I should have checked the coil as well, but let's sell some of this stuff real quick. Yeah, sure. Scrap it. Made 104 bucks back on that. The battery. So I think net's what, 400 and something? Alright. Can they go now? No, it's still not repaired. Why do we... I wish there was a way to re-talk to the customer and say, look, you can't, you just can't. Let's see how much their ignition glow is. It says it down here, 49%. Ignition module, 750 bucks. No. 290 for a used one. That's what you get. 51%. So I think we gained 2%. That's not gonna fix it. It's totally not gonna fix it. This back on. I think we put the starter back on, right? Yeah, it's down there. It's back on. I don't know what they want. Barely 4 minutes. Doesn't start. Well, good job, game. You're beating me on this one. Can't remove the valve cover. There's the plug wires. I guess you can't. Can you change plugs? Looks like you can. Can I examine the condition now? 6%. So they need plugs. Just take them out. This is one of those situations you'll run into. A customer comes in and says, you know, I only have this much money, can you fix it in this? And your natural response as someone who wants to make money is, no, you know, it's going to take more than $300 worth of parts to do that. So, can we buy them as a set? You have to buy them individually. Spark plug. 1, 2, 3, 3, 4. Ooh, don't back out. Sometimes the customer says, well, I can't afford it, so I'm not going to be able to do it. and then someone like a service advisor steps in and says, well, okay, well we can do, you know, half on the labor and take up some of the price difference that way and make it a little more affordable for you. Or they'll come talk to us as technicians and say, well, you know, you've got, why don't you come down on your time that you're being paid and thank you. I didn't put the engine cover back on. Good lord. Can I go now? Just give me the next car. I don't know how much money we lost on that one. I don't even want to know. But yeah, they'll come back sometimes and say, well, you know, why don't you come down on the labor time? Because flat rate's a weird thing. I'm not sure if I've talked about it on this, but flat rate is every job that you do on a car pays a certain... I always try to talk whenever I get an RO. Hold on. My rubber bushings are gone. Replace all of them, please. Okay. That's quite a lot of bushings, but alright. Alright, let's go up. Parts condition. Of course. Let's just test drive it. I haven't test driven anything. Let's just do a test drive. We'll make this the last RO. So flat rate works to where... Turn my headphones down a little bit. Flat rate works to where every job that you do has a set pay rate. Like, to replace a headlight, it pays half an hour of labor. And if you are paid, let's say, $10 an hour, that's low, and you know, no one really gets paid that by the hour, but if you're paid $10 an hour, it's even, so it's easy to... If you're paid $10 an hour, half an hour, that's $5 that you get paid for doing a headlight. So it's kind of how it works. And then you get big jobs like removing and reinstalling a transmission, and they pay 7 hours. And when it gets to that, the shop has a labor fee that they charge the customer. A lot of shops go around $100 an hour. So the customer would come in and pay $100 an hour times the number of hours for the job that they need done. So if it's the transmission, it'd be 7 hours, so $700 plus the price of it, which for a transmission is going to be about $4,500. So I'm underneath. This is under. I guess the bushings there is what they want. Replace all of them. Okay, I guess that's what they want. Oh, can I just take it out like that? Oh, that's awesome. You don't actually have to remove the... Sweet. Is there a bushing in here? Should check before I stopped. There should be one inside of that, but are they talking about rear bushings as well? Are there bushings in the rear? Is this is a solid axle. You got bushings here. I did a test drive and I still don't know the condition. Oh, don't do that. Well, that's that. So let's just do those 4 and see how much are we getting paid for this. That's the thing, though. You have to balance pay versus cost and things like that. It's a lot harder to operate and maintain a shop as opposed to just being a technician and working. And I gladly don't have to deal with any of the things like that and just, okay, rubber bushing. So let's just get 4 of these. It's $440. So we're good if that's all there is. Go here. Reinstallation mode. Put one there. Put one there. Let's do that. Install that bushing. Jump over here. Put that bushing back in. Anyway, so the way flat rate works, as I was saying, is so they pay $700 plus the cost of the transmission. The technician may get paid $20 an hour, so he'll get $20 for those 7 hours. So $20 an hour, 7 hours, $140 to do that job. That would be his pay for doing that job, and that would basically all the hours add up. And let's say you worked 40 hours. You were there on the clock working for 40 hours straight. Not straight, but for 40 hours total. If you get paid 7 hours for a job and you do it in 4 hours, the rest of that time you could be working on another job. But at the same rate, if it takes you 9 hours to do that 7-hour job, that's 2 extra hours you've spent on it that you're not getting paid for. So you try to be faster than the job pays, that way you can work on something else and stack. So it's possible to do 10 hours, 12 hours, 14 hours in a day if you're faster than the labor times. So you could work 40 hours in a week. If it's a slow week, you may only get paid for 30 hours, or 35 or 25 or whatever. If you do really well that week, you could get 60 hours, 80 hours. We also have a BMW shop as part of our family of dealerships as well, and there's a technician there that made a 115-hour week, which is amazing. So, alright, let's see if that fixed their car. Get him out of here. Yes. Alright, let's take a look at the next one, and then we'll call that an episode. I think we've run all our time for today. Next time, we'll talk a little about minis. This car drives me crazy. I've already replaced all spark plugs, and now that. Now what? Guess what? The water pump started to leak, and this liquid could have damaged one of the belts. Check it and repair, please. Alright, so we're going to repair the leaking pump. Check the timing belt. Okay. So that's what we'll do next time, but for now, I'm going to end it here. We did a little talking. Next time we'll try and talk a little more about minis particularly, and how things have changed going from Volkswagen to Mini, which is Volkswagen to BMW, because BMW makes Mini. But we'll talk about all that next time, so make sure you like the video if you enjoy it, subscribe for updates, and I'll catch you next time. So thanks for watching.